everybody, Chase is back from Burnout Inc. and we're going to do a review of the Mass Effect 3 Miranda Series 2. This is part of, I believe it's DC Direct, or no, it's Big Fish Toys, which may be an offshoot of DC Direct. I don't really remember. It's been a while since I've done research on the Mass Effect figures. I remember seeing this one about almost a year and a half ago. It took them about a year to year and a half to release just the first wave of Mass Effect figures since when they first announced them. It was right after Mass Effect 2, and I was so excited. And the figures were getting mixed reviews, and some of them just looked really, really bad, like the Thane figure, because you had to constantly have him in just a pistol holding pose, and it looked stupid. But the Wave 2 series, they looked much better. I think so far the Miranda is the best one of the Mass Effect figures, just my opinion. I saw a couple more where I got this. I got this at Hastings for about $17. And I saw the Miranda figure, Garrus and Morden. Garrus's figure looked horrible, so I decided to skip on it. Like, his armor looked really bland. The blues on there looked near black, so the coloring was just really bad. And the face didn't look like Garrus at all. Same thing with the Morden. Morden's colors were right, but his face, it just didn't have that quirky, lovable Solarian that I've come to know from the game, so I decided to skip on that. But Miranda's pretty good. She's probably the best of them so far. So let's pop her out of this package, which I've already nicely. I guess I can show you the back real quick. I've already nicely cut it in there. So yeah, there's the Series 1 figures. Tally looks cool. Shepard looks decent. Rex, not Rex, what am I thinking of? Grunt looks pretty cool. I haven't seen an actual figure of his yet. But here's the other figures. Unfortunately, they don't look as good as the production stills. I don't know why the Garrus one, even in the production one, it still just doesn't look right to me. Legion looks cool. They should have put a little LED light in there, though. The Morden on this one looks okay, but he should have been smiling. Like, how many times have you talked to Morden and he's just always smiling? So, come on, that was just kind of lazy. And then Miranda. She doesn't look nearly as good as she does on this one, but her actual figure is still pretty good. So, let's open that up. And I've already removed all of the... And she fell out. I guess that ass is just way too heavy. I've already removed all of the twist ties. So, let's see. That's how she would have been in there with the twist ties, but let's take that out. Ah, that's loud. She comes with a very, very basic black stand. Again, somewhat lazy. You could have done like a cool Mass Effect design, or just wrote Mass Effect 3. Something. Come on, guys. Show that you at least care when you're going to make these figures. Let's, where's the gun? She comes with the M3 Predator pistol. I believe I've got it right. I know this is the or actually, no, you know what? This might actually be the submachine gun. In fact, I'm pretty certain it is, because the pistol's got a little bit smaller design, and it usually has red on it. So yeah, this is more or less the submachine gun version of that. And here is the figure. The face is pretty good. This has a really... It decently resembles Miranda. They could have done a lot worse, they could have done a little bit better, but it looks pretty good. In my opinion, she should have had a better facial expression. I think she should have been smiling, or something a little bit more than just a blank stare, because every time you talk to Miranda, same as Morden, she usually has just that little smile in her eyes. Or, in her eyes, really? What the hell's wrong with me? Ugh. Okay. And surprisingly, the face does look like the actress that played Miranda, and I hope I say this right, is Yvonne Straczynski, and you may have seen her on Chuck and in the movie Killer Elite, which I never watched all the way through. So, articulation-wise, Miranda has some decent maneuverability for this type of figure. Her head can go basically to the left or right, depending on which angle you're viewing her from, but that direction, and it can't really go this way, and I'm forcing it. It won't go. It can kind of go up and down. It's mostly because of the hair. The hair just blocks it. She's got no ab articulation, which is kind of a bad design, but then again, these figures aren't really meant to be played with, I guess. Not like the Marvel Legends or DC Universe Classics, which is it's a real shame because, you know, you want to recreate stuff you did in the video game. Her shoulders can go in and out. They can rotate 360. She's got upper bicep swivel. She's got a single joint in her elbow, allowing for decent maneuverability. Her hands can rotate 360, and she's got really cool fingerless biker gloves. Her hands just don't move in and out like you would see on a normal action figure today. Her belt is a separate piece, so it can move. It's just glued right there. They really did a great job of capturing her costume and that ass, which has gotten so much criticism, but, you know, come on, people. It's a video game. Suspend your disbelief. Her legs are the most disappointing articulation feature, because if you're going to play with it and recreate stuff, you want to recreate her in cover and, you know, stuff like that. And you can't really do that when the upper thigh just doesn't move all the way out, or at least a decent amount. There's no swivel right there, so her legs can't go out. Another disappointing thing. She's got a single joint in her knee, which, you know, she can do kind of like a that pose if she's running. And then she's got no feet or ankle articulation and no swivels in her legs. Maybe it was just because they wanted these to more or less resemble statues than figures, but if you're going to do a statue, do a statue. If you're going to do a figure, do a fully articulated figure. Awesome. So her gun can fit into her hand like that, and it looks pretty awesome. Doesn't really like to stay there, so if you got like those little tiny rubber bands, I would suggest using that for when you're going to pose the figure. But she looks pretty good. I would give Miranda an honest 6.5 out of 10. Sculpt-wise, she looks really, really good. She's not really going on this stand, though. It's like the pegs on her feet don't really fit well. There we go. So yeah, I would give her a 6.5, maybe a 7 out of 10 if I want to be generous. It looks just like Miranda. Articulation, though, is a 5 at best. She's got great arm articulation, but the leg articulation is really bad. It's disappointing. Accessory-wise, she comes with a really cool gun, but the stand is lacking. So yeah, 6.5 out of 10. Or I'll be generous, I'll give it a 7. Let's just keep it even, 7. And I would recommend it, especially if you're a fan of the Mass Effect series, which a lot of us are. Alright, so that's it from Chase here at Burnout Inc., and we'll see you next time.